Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody out there. Jason here at City Tree Sports, and a pleasure just to have you live at a charge for the 802 Cup Series, brought to you by Riptide Radio. Running Hot Atlanta tonight is week 5 for the drivers. If you missed last week's race, we took it down because, well, you know, I was not the kindest of persons out there, so apologies for those who are tuning in tonight that were here last week. I do apologize about my conduct. We're going to be doing a little bit better here today, and much better mood, much better everything, and trying to make some things work out for what these drivers have to go. Right now, we're running the two-town Hot Atlanta, and I love this is my favorite. So this is like the second or third time that I've called this kind of race for them. It's one of my favorites because you get to see a lot of different paint schemes out there that not only kind of highlight the you know, those old cartoons that are out there, or any kind of cartoon that is out there, but also you see like Donkey Kong right there on the 20. That's awesome. That's a little video game reference here for you too. But it's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to run Hot Atlanta. They're going to be out there qualifying. Here's your race information here for the 802 Cup Series with BG Graphics on board. Atlanta is a 1.5 mile length track, 140 laps, 70% fuel, 2 green white checkered attempts, and 2 fast repairs. It is not an open setup. I don't know why that is even there, because that's not even actually, excuse me, folks. It's not even there. I had to click refresh. Sorry about that. You're going to see it refresh. There you go. 802 Racing Leagues has Leaf Guard on board, and Out of the Woods Crafts going to be all the points for the rookie standings. I like to see it, like to hear it, like to see what they do out there. No driver cams going forward for the time being until I can get it worked out with the SDK graphics. I want to be able to, with the drivers, connect to their own portal. We'll be able to do that. Margaret, thank you very much for the like out there. If you haven't, to reach up with that like button for me. We're live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. BG Graphics has a whole bunch of paints out there. One of the drivers, of course, Brandon Guerin is going to be running the Simpsons machine, but we'll look at Logan McNeil as running Tom and Jerry. Steve Ritter's running the American Dad paint scheme. Love that. Henry Reel with Space Jam, of course. So you see that right there on board, right there on that 24. I think, is that the regular Space Jam, not the second one? The first one was so much better than the second one, and it's nothing against LeBron James. It's literally Jordan just did it better. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Leroy Koblenz is going to run the Roadrunner paint scheme. Chad McNeil, Tom and Jerry again. He's going to run Jerry. So Tom with Logan McNeil. Chad McNeil is going to run Jerry. That's awesome. Roger Rabbit's going to be with Chris Campbell. We'd love to see it. How about it? Starting grid here for today's race. 802 Racing Leagues giving you all the action here for week 5 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Rob Lowell's going to be your pole sitter here with Steve Ritter to the outside of that fantastic driver. Here is Steve Ritter. He has got the American Dad paint scheme. We'll take a better look at that here again. BG Graphics knocking that out of the park. Much love to Brandon and all the fine folks. Brian Huntley Jr. was last week's winner. He's going to be sitting inside row number 2 with Brandon Guerin to the outside. Kenny Reel, Johnny Barker going to make it row number 3. Leroy Koblenz is going to have Jacob Carter to the outside, row number 4. John Ross, Jason Wiley in row number 5. Row 6, Dalton Powell and Logan McNeil. Row 7, down the starting grid we go. It'll look as such. It'll be Christian Delgado with Chad McNeil. Nate Cotillo is going to have Arabia Caton to his outside, row number 8. AJ Cawthon will have Chris Campbell in row number 9. Christopher Pendle will have Frank Zingen back out in the mix. Good to see Frank rolling. He's going to be there in the number 20. Joshua Small is going to have Eli Raposa to his outside, row number 11. Row 12 will be Aaron Bradford and Jeff Barefoot. Row 13 will be Nick Larson, the final driver in today's race, as we're waiting for some of the drivers to load in. Good to see everybody. Look at that American Dad paint scheme. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Here's the iRacing safety car, the pace car ready to go. Barney up on the top left of your screen. Biggest pythons in all of iRacing is that guy. Here's a long look down pit road. It is one of the shorter mile and a half pit lanes that you're going to see, but they're gonna have to get down pit road pretty profusely. It's 55 miles an hour. We'll have to take a look at that here in just a second. But while we do take a look at that, while these drivers work on it, Out of the Woods Crafts gives you your rookie standings for today's race. There is look at the top 4 new drivers in this series. And this is the battle for the top 4 for the out of the woods crafts rookie standing. So AJ Cawthon leads right now. So far with John Ross and Nate Cotilla in third. Brian Huntley Jr. is fourth in the standings right now with a win last week. Good things, all good things. All right, Rob Lowell's ready to go. These drivers pull off pit road. We're going to be locked and loaded as we'll see the Jetsons on board with Rob Lowell. Like that, I do. This is literally. There's Brandon Garrett up here. That's that Simpsons machine we were talking about. Literally my favorite, my favorite race to call because it kind of speaks to like the uber big kid in you, and not only that, but can speak to your actual kids who love to get out there and run these paint schemes. The underdog paint scheme, I believe, is Johnny. I think Johnny has been running that one. He ran that last season too. I believe he ran that last season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Little Looney Tune action there with Leroy in the 43. Tell me what your favorite paint scheme is out there, folks. We'll try to go through a lot of them. As we'll see Jason Weiland of Steel Series 13 up on the high side. Dalton Powell running my big old logo. Thank you, Dalton, for doing that. All right, Rob Lowell's ready to go. Pace car is going to dive in for 140 laps. We're going to be at it. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. Green flag. Turn one busy. Brian Huntley Jr. trying to repeat the 24. Very good at the super speed or at the mile and a half tracks. This, if you don't know, Atlanta used to be very bumpy. And right here is a good inclination of what happens with this racetrack. It gets very bumpy, very bumpy on the turns, and the drivers have a tendency to get free, and kind of makes turn four, all that much better. And give a big look here. And we're out of the corner here. Drivers having a good race line so far. A lot of side-by-side racing as they get down to the back straightaway. Brian Huntley Jr. in third. Steve Ritter, your new race leader here, the number 16. Brandon Guerin's going to be up in 2 already. Rob Lowell dropping off pace, but don't count him out just yet. Has a long run race pace. That's what he tries to do. Leroy Koblenz, one of the drivers as well. It's going to be off 5 as drivers continue to try to make their intervals dig a little bit harder. Cawthon, Zingen, all working out. Joshua Small off 1 time. Back 3 drivers here. We'll see Aaron Bradford in the 45. Jeff Barefoot's going to be to the 9. Nick Larson out of the race. He's going to be... I wonder if Nick's running some race control out there. Either way, it's all good things. How about the Flintstone Mobile? 10 million strong and growing. I don't know. I'm kind of digging that one. Little DTL customs on the bottom back left of that one. A little Spider-Man action right there for the Aaron Bradford 45. I'm digging it. Joshua Small. He is running the Donkey Kong paint scheme. I'm liking it. 4 of 140. No comp caution for today's race, and we'll see what these drivers are going to do. Eli runs the 46W machine. Arabia Caton, of course, making me hungry with a little Reese's Pieces. Actually, Reese's Pieces sound pretty good. Arabia running the Reese's machine here. Chris Campbell off 1 from the start of the race is got a good little. Oh, is that the Roger Rabbit one? Hold on, gotta get closer. Yeah, Roger Rabbit. One of my favorite movies growing up. Looney Tunes right there as well. A little Gatorade machine here for the 94. Christopher Pindell. Frank Zingen running the Toy Story 2 machine. You know, my daughter absolutely loves Jessie. And not just because, my wife's name is Jessie, but because Jessie just kind of relates to some girls and some little, the little ones that can get out there and have some fun and have that pretend. That's really cool. Tom and Jerry machine. There is the Tom car. And the number 60 above Dalton Powell. Chad McNeil is rolling the high side here. Off 1 from the start of the race. Dalton Powell off 3. Some of the drivers still trying to work. Now, I will tell you that Chad is chasing down the old Jerry mobile. You see Jerry. All right, that's Tom. What is going on with the paint? The spec map didn't look like it loaded in. Hold on, folks. I'm going to refresh some paints here because that spec map did not load in correctly. for these two drivers. The Chrome loaded in just fine, but that is no bueno. I'm sitting there thinking I've got an issue going on. And if I go back to Chad McNeil, so I'm going to go back to Chad's car here as well. Chad's worked just fine. His looks just fine, but Logan's, that's the Jerry car. Sorry, folks. Jerry's trying to chase down the Tom car right now. Logan McNeil out front. God, the spec map just not loading for that. Hold on. Let's see if it fixes. You know what? That'll work. There we go. That'll work. Like it. We're gonna hold on to that one. There we go. That'll work. All right, SpongeBob out front. As 54 of Jacob Carter goes to work. Steve Ritter to the bottom side. Brian Huntley Jr. leads up on the high side. Battle for the lead between the two. Carter side by side. Oh, blinks out of the race. Oh, don't want to see that one. There is Steve Ritter. Rolls the corner. Here's what we see here is Johnny Barker is going to be in tow. Very tough to see. Carter comes back in, gets himself situated here. So able to make that work. We'll go on board with Jacob, see how he is doing into the corner. He was competing for the lead there, then blinked out, and that's scary. It's a scary situation to have to deal with. Ticker up on the top five. Here is your top five for your ticker. There's Huntley Jr., Steve Ritter, Johnny Barker, Kyle Carter, and Kenny Reel roll the top five here at Atlanta. Jacob Carter, your biggest mover of the race, is going to be up 5. That's the driver we're riding along with here in that 54 machine. Interstate Battery's going a long way to give you a lot of freaky fast speed here for the Toyota. So Toyota, Ford, and a Chevy. Kenny Reel, the first Chevy here. And a slew of Fords behind. Nate Curtil is going to be trying to run that Chevy machine down as well. Cawthon in a Chevy. Dalton Powell in a Chevy. Frank Ziggins in a Chevy. A lot of Fords. One of the first leads to see a Ford knock it out of the park. So we'll see how this one rolls. And the Toyotas can go back-to-back weeks. And Brian Huntley Jr. right now, quarter second the difference. Distance between the drivers. As these drivers go to work, Huntley Jr., Jacob Carter, not Kyle Carter. Jacob Carter finally getting back up to the mix here. Gets to the back bumper with the 19, trying to go to that high side. Atlanta, not normally known for the high side here in the next-gen car, but that's exactly what we're seeing on the long run. Brian Huntley Jr. now within a tenth of his teammate. Jacob Carter, a little manufacturer going on here. As we'll see the drivers coming around. 13 laps complete, 14 the way of the world. As Steve Ritter tried to utilize the bottom side of the race line. Little side-by-side back action back here. As we see Dalton Powell try to go to the inside of a couple of drivers, but able to back out of that. Logan McNeil here doing a good job of rolling. Nick Larson had to jump to pit road earlier, so we'll see what happened there. 12:62 rolling the corner. As the 62 of Frank Zingen goes up one more. Up 7 is your biggest move of the race right now. Cawthon still trying.
What you say feeds how they feel. Get tips on language to help kids grow strong.
Battle has Dalton Powell and Rob Lowell back to the inside. Rob Lowell here in the 21. Losing more ground. As your pole sitter back to 11th here. That's something you want to be seeing out of him. He had good speed on the start of this one. Maybe trying something different. Maybe saving some tire. Trying a little bit of a different strategy. 70% fuel is going to put the cars in somewhere around that 40 to 45 mark. That'll be about what you see. Leroy Koblenz off the racing surface here. Going to have an issue. Rides up. Something happened to that driver. Here's a look. 43 off corner exit. Just gets free. And takes a ride here. Woo, baby. Able to save it. Gets back up into the run. He's good to go. Drivers are ready to rock and roll. Good to see everybody out there. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is Sunday Night Racing here for the 802 Cup Series, brought to you by Riptide Radio. If you haven't checked out Riptide Radio, it is a free downloadable source that you can get out there and have some fun with and listen to some of the good, smooth jazz that they put out. Sounds of the Salton Sea in the air. It is absolutely fantastic. Free download. Let's go to Google browser and look up Riptide Radio out of the North Myrtle Beach area there in South Carolina. DTL Customs putting some good things out there. Leaf Guard, of course, as well. Love seeing what we do with that. And, of course, and always, big special thank you to everybody being out there rocking and rolling and knocking it out of the park. I do need to make a change, which I'm going to do right about now. Because I want to make sure that we get all of the sponsors up there. So bear with me, folks. I'm going to mute myself. We're going to throw this on exciting for everybody. And let this one have at it, because I did make some changes earlier to the graphics. If you can't tell, they're all right there. But I want to make sure that everybody gets the opportunity to see all of the sponsors for the series up there, because it matters. It does matter. Drivers are running pretty decently here. I'm still working on this, folks, so don't go anywhere. We're putting in two more sponsors that were supposed to be in here, and I goofed it up, so that's all on me. So yeah, bear with me. It was sent to me. Was it sent to me? One of them was sent to me, I thought. Bear with me. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right. Side-by-side racing here for the drivers. That should have fixed that. We do want to save the project real quick so that way we can make sure that we are going to go for next time. Yeah, that's all good things. Thank you, everybody, for being out there. Much love to you. All right, AJ Cawthon there in ninth is going to be up 8 spots. Frank's still trying to work over this 13th spot. He's got Rob Lowell and Nate Cotilla in front of him. Rob backing up the corner, works the high side. He's going to have a run here. Jason Wiley has Nate Cotilla behind him. Mile and a half tracks is good with double file racing here, but at a certain point the tires start to eat away. This is a very, very, very rough concrete surface for Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. Atlanta, of course, this last year went to a super speedway, and it was it's a tough racetrack to try to make passes and try to do anything with that. Johnny Barker pulls up to second here, as now the 54 of Jacob Carter has bounced back to sixth. Christian Delgado is going to be up 6 spots in that 7th spot. Huntley Jr. now contending. It's going to have a big long run here for Johnny Barker, 25 of 140 being completed. right. Speed. 44 to the inside. John Ross trying to go to the lead here. John Ross on that long run saving pace. The left side of your screen, we should be able to put up the iRating for everybody. As these two go side by side once again, 44 to 6. Ross and Barker side by side. John Ross 2.9K on the iRating. Huntley 3,000 on that as well. Barker 1,900 on his iRating. And Brandon Garrett here runs an 1,100 iRating. Jacob Carter 2.6K. Of course, Kenny Reel 2.8K. A lot of drivers getting out there running, doing some fantastic things, and everybody knows that all of this race time is going to go right to what these drivers are going to be able to try to accomplish here, and that is give themselves a good points standing. They do have a drop. They talked about it before. They have a drop week, and the first 3 races were won by Kenny Reel. Then Brian Huntley Jr. becomes the second winner overall. So Kenny Reel with a good points lead here, but when it comes to the series, but the drop week can come into play, and we'll see kind of where these points line up toward the end of the season. So I would normally have all the points kind of focused up and point up there, but because of the drop weeks and because of how things are going to work, the championship is where it's going to matter as we get later into the run and things start to happen. And right now, that is the way of the world as the top 10 go to battle, and having a decent game. .30 of 140 finds drivers ready to go. Jacob Carter here, still trying to work on his racecraft. Still up 1. How about Cawthon up 9? He and Frank Zingham, both drivers, up 9 respectively. The 62 got himself around the 5 of Nico Tila. Eli Raposa is going to be up 7 as well, so some long-run race pace happening here. Rob Lowell picking drivers off again, needing to do that. Does have quite the gap here between he and that one spot. 5 seconds the distance. Is Clean Air becoming pretty much everything. John Ross holds off a second right now. We'll take a look at the dashboard battle box action there. 1.1, 1.2 second lead as Brian Huntley Jr. wants to carry some pace here. Johnny Barker back to third. Barker yet to get a win in the series, trying to get himself up there with a consistent finish. Things like that don't go too far. Brandon has been very consistent, so has Kenny Reel. Both of these drivers try to make their lines work and have a decent race off here. Kenny Reel in 5th, trying to track down Brandon Guerin. Both of the drivers about 4/10 of, they're pretty evenly matched. Both these drivers about a 4/10 of a second off the pace. Off of each other, sorry. And then about 3 seconds between them and Brian Huntley Jr., who has not started seeing the car take any form, and they're running way up near the wall. iRacing has introduced the progressive tracks now, where tire wear and the heat actually matter where you're going to run. And right now, the 19 running up near the wall. You got to be careful. The more you push the wall, the worse off it's going to be for you. We'll see what the dashboard says for Brian Huntley Jr. 5th gear, 185 out of the corner. Go 5th gear, 153, 154 as far as the speed goes. Gets out of the throttle and gets back into it. Appreciate the follow out there. Much love to you. Dan was out there, said getting ready to go. That was earlier. Thank you very much. I appreciate the chats. Thank you, everybody, for being out there. Much love to you. I do appreciate it. I know last week wasn't the greatest race for me to call. Those who watched it live know that there's a lot of things personally and behind the scenes that I needed to take care of. So I appreciate everybody sticking around. Of course, I want to make sure that everybody knows that we're not going anywhere as far as the Signature Esports platform. It's not something that I would want to change or give up, or I love what I do here, and I want good, clean racing. And right now, today, we're getting at 37 to 140. Drivers starting to come to pit road early.
A pivotal moment as he looks for the win.
If I were him, I'd bundle with the personal price plan.
Bundle? Jake from State Farm?
That's right, Jan. If this were home and this were auto, the bundle move could bring home the real victory. Savings.
That's a weird analogy, Jake. Here we go.
This is a great moment for bundling.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan.
There it is.
His signature dance.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Huntley Jr. will put himself back in a 1.4 second lead. We'll see Toontown work at it. Fast-paced, fast race so far. We're only half an hour into this one, and we ran 38 laps, 19 minutes into the race, which is a good race. It's a good race pace. It makes the race feel like it's going by super fast. That's what you see. Who's going to be able to have that race pace? Kenny Reel off 17 is going to be off the lap. One thing you don't want to see if you decide to short pit yourself is whether or not you're going to be able to come to pit road and have to wait for those, wait for that. And that's not something that you definitely don't want to see. A lot of things happening. A lot of drivers getting out there running. Whoa, Huntley Jr. just blinked. Don't do that, buddy. John Ross in second. Johnny Barker is going to be in third back here. As we see these drivers starting to pull away. How about Christian Delgado, though? He's going to come to pit road. We got green flag. I'm sorry, Delgado stays out. We've got Brandon Garrett, AJ Cawthon coming to pit road as well. Well, these drivers looking to pick up some of that pace. I talked about that 40 mark. That's pretty close to what you're going to see. Some drivers going to run a little bit longer and try to have that pace. John Ross, of course, up 7. Going to be into the wall here. Looks to come to pit road. Johnny Barker will be coming in as well. So Brian Huntley Jr. We try to work on that. Christian Delgado, 2382, in front of the Family Guy paint scheme. Good to see it. How about BG Graphics, Leaf Guard, and all the fine folks over there at the rest of the field? Much love to everybody. Thank you to everybody who's been putting up with me for almost 4 years of doing this and working with us as well. Thank you to all the sponsors that I have as well. We'll talk about them at the end of the stream. And we'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt. 10 drivers on the lead lap right now as Kenny Reel actually looks to try to get himself back on the lead lap. Let's track it out. Brian Huntley Jr. is at a 1 and 2. John Ross will be coming out of pit road here. One thing you don't want to see right now is if you're inside the top 10. If you're inside the top 10, you want to see you can see a caution. That would be a bad thing for you. But if you're into the drivers that are a lap down, you don't want to see a caution right now. That's for darn sure. John Ross first of the takers. Steve Ritter, Nico Tiller, Rob Lowell all coming to pit road as we start hearing whether or not somebody's going to start clutching. Christian Delgado playing catch-up here, doing a great job of catching that 5 or 6 second gap that he had before. We'll see if Brian Huntley Jr. can go do it. That's the thing. Green flag runs here are going to be what make this as a make or break situation. So we'll see how this one plays out. Seven drivers still need to come to pit road. Rob Lowell doing just that. No speeding penalties from what I've seen. We won't know if anybody has to come back just yet. Get about 3 laps before you do that. Rob Lowell leaving pit road here. You see him coming out of that race line. Little Jetsons action here for the 21. We'll see if anybody holds on to it. Lowell will go back to 18th here. Brian Huntley Jr. coming to pit road. Oh, hot into pit road there. Woo! I think he was able to get it down to speed, so we'll see. Delgado takes over the lead here, and it was closing in some distance. Very, very good. Very nice job. Eli Raposo is going to be coming around here as well. Jason Wiley in and out. He is trying to make some things happen. How about all the rest of these drivers? Wiley back in. You see John Ross come around to the corner. Brian Huntley Jr. will sit on pit road. We'll make sure he didn't get the penalty. I don't think he did. No, he didn't. He's good. Delgado comes to pit road. Raposa will come to pit road. Jason Wiley will come to pit road. John Ross will make the pass on Brian Huntley Jr. John Ross came on lap 40. Kenny Rio came on 35. 4-lap fresher tires right now as the drivers go to work. And Huntley Jr. runs 46 out of those ones, and we'll see if that's going to play any dividend. 40 is the mark. Brian Huntley Jr. came on 44. We're completing lap 46 right now. 44 green flag laps. I called it 40 to 45. That was pretty darn fantastic. And a lot of the other drivers coming in. Yep, 45 is the magic number. Delgado will try to make this one go all the way to lap 90. And we'll have to still, I don't know, they'll still have to short pit themselves. This is a 3 pit stop race for the most part. For the most part.
The Snapmaker U1 comes in closer to around 1,000 USD. The Bamboo Lab H2S combo comes in at around $1,500 USD. So right away, you're looking at about a $500 difference, plus the long-term savings on filament when you're not throwing half of it away. If budget is a part of your decision, then this is where it matters. Initial cost versus operational cost. You'll pay more up front for the H2S, and you'll be inside the best 3D printing ecosystem that has ever existed. You'll save money and some filament with the U1, but you are limited to 4 tool heads, and that ecosystem is more open source, less polished.
Right now, pretty much everybody stay on the lead lap. Chepo, thank you very much for the like. I appreciate you. Steve Ritter just ran the fastest lap of the race, 30.83. Off 6 from the start of the race. This will show you who's faster than everybody out there. John Ross, the race leader, 30.98 was his last lap. Kenny Reel, Brian Huntley Jr. all in the dirty air. 31.3, 31.43. This is going to be interesting. Without the cautions that we've seen in the past, going to be some change here. About a 31.28, 31.1284 Brandon Garand here. Now a 31.12 as the drivers get in the corner. Brian Huntley Jr. still utilizing that high line, which is kind of shocking here because normally this track wears the high side. But yeah, they've been able to make it work. First half of this race, definitely starting to show. Arabia Caden's going to be your first driver off the lead lap. Jeff Barefoot, Nick Larson, 14 laps down. As we'll see what the driver's going to be doing. Good to see everybody out there. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate you for the likes. So much love to you. Ross, 2.7 second difference here. And that's what I'm talking about. Clean air. Clean air goes a long way to support what these drivers are going to be doing. 3 seconds now. Brian Huntley Jr., 6 seconds. Clean air is huge. If you don't think that cleaner isn't as important on this racetrack, it is. Runs the second and third lane. But we'll see, though, because you are able to play catch-up. Definitely opportunity knocking for every one of these drivers. All the cool stuff. All the cool kids. Wiley coming to pit road for the second time here. Maybe trying a short pitch strategy here for the final sector, because you got to remember they're going to have to run 2 more pit stops, run at 90, and then run somewhere halfway in between all of that, because if this stays green, there will be some hard racing going on. That's what I'm sure. All right. How about them apples? Yeah. Rob, thanks for the like, so much love. I also put the old alerts back up because I just like them better. Throw this on exciting, folks. We'll take hydrate break. You should do so yourself. Look at everybody for being out there. Much love to you. Appreciate all the Facebook support, all the YouTube support. Our goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers before on YouTube before the end of 2024. So that's my New Year's resolution. We'd like to get 100,000 so we can get that big, silver plaque. But I had to change my mindset, change a whole lot of things happening. You can't have a $1 million dream with a 9-to-5 attitude, and you definitely can't call good racing without having to make sure that you change your mindset on that as well. So things are going. John Ross out front. Make sure you hydrate, folks. Get your coffee. That's what I do. Get your coffee.
Pittsburgh is built to perform. From America's #1 selling floor jacks to sockets, ratchets, and shop equipment, Pittsburgh delivers the reliability you need at prices that can't be beat. Only at Harbor Freight.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be. Hand off your taxes to an expert who gets you with TurboTax Expert Full Service.
Sean Ross out here doing his thing. Brian Huntley Jr. still trying to close down that 5.9 second gap that he had before, up to 4.4 now as Starting to see where the lap times progress. 31.12 was his last lap time. He's about 7/10 of a second faster than everybody out there. Other than your race leader, he was only 4.5 tenths faster last time by. So we'll see kind of where he progresses here. Strength of field on today's race is right about that 2.2, 2.3K mark. I'll have to look one more time. Show that real quick. Bounce this out real quick. Forgive me. 1.8K. Sorry, not 2.2. 1.8K. There's Amar out there knocking it out of the park. Appreciate everybody being all bueno and supportive. Speaking of paint schemes, if you need a paint scheme out there, I encourage you to check out Amar. He's fantastic. Tell him I sent you. He'll hook you up. Riptide Radio. Whoa, 19, a little free right there. 31.35 was uncharacteristic there. We're watching this one as they continue to go. BG Graphics did a lot of the paints tonight for a lot of these drivers, and I like them. To take away from any other painter out there, but this Toontown works very, very, very cool. I like Brandon. I still like Brandon's car. I really do. I think this is the... I don't know if he refreshed this one, but I think this is the second time I've seen it. Second or third time? I can't remember. I've been around these guys for a couple of years now. We get to see a lot of it. How about the Family Guy one for Christian Delgado here? Pretty darn fantastic. Chris on lap 60 had an off track there. Let's see what happened here. I think he might have just tapped the wall. Nope, just got free. Very easy to do. Oh, Yeetus Delitus, like, able to save it though. Great job out of that driver. John Ross, having a 3-second difference here between he and the top 5. There's a look at your top 5. We'll put the rest of the drivers up on the left side of your screen. They are rolling. Good to see everybody out there. It is it's good racing. I think I'm going to go to, I like this setup when it comes to the overlays. I think it looks good. And I think I might use this like this from now on. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Until I can get, this really set. I love the way that NASCAR does things, and that's the way that I want it to be done. That makes any sense? That's the reason why I say it the way I say it. I want to see what we can do here. 2.9 second difference here between John Ross and Brian Huntley Jr. Huntley now starting to slow his pace. That's about 4 lap fresher tires in the rest of the field. So John Ross can back his corners up a little bit. He'll be able to start pulling back away from Brian Huntley Jr. as things start to level off. Nate Cotillo is going to be the fastest driver on the racetrack, though. He came out on 42, has a better lap time right now than Brian Huntley Jr., who is in second. So we'll see if Nate's going to be able to get that first top 3 again like he had before. Jacob Carter blinking in and out. Rob Lowell still trying to work his way back to that pole spot. We'll see if he's going to be able to do something different here. Trying to leapfrog his way back forward. Ross, Huntley Jr., Barker, Ritter, Guerin, that's going to be your top 5 as things go to work. Thank you, Lauren, for the like. Again, much love to you. Thank you to everybody out there. I appreciate you all. I really do. Almost halfway through this one, and they're going to work. Hey, well, thank you very much for the like. I appreciate you. Ross holding on to the lead here. Let's go through and see where these drivers are. How about Frank? I'm impressed with Frank every week. I really am. This guy seems to just get wrapped up in the wrong things, and this week he looks better. Much better. Very smooth. Started 20th. Finds himself in 11th right now. He is your biggest mover of the race. Trying to work on that 9th spot. Get rid of this. Let's go to this. Let's put everybody's time up there and have some fun and relax, try to chill.
Work zone safety is the most important part of what we do because at the end of the day, just like you, we want to get back home to our families. There are long days working in the middle of our busy roads as cars, motorcycles, and tractor trailers rush by us. And yes, it can be dangerous. So please help keep us safe. Be alert, follow the signs, put your phone down, slow down, and drive well, Vermont. For more information, go to drivewell.vt.gov/workzone.
Backwards. We're backwards. There we go. Okay. Yeah. 2.6 second lead from Ross to Huntley Jr. Steve Ritter's going to be in third. He is off one, started second. Brandon Guerin has been shocking for a hot minute. It's going to be able to clear the six of Johnny Barker here, but Barker's going to have a run into the corner. We'll see if he tries to drop down. Ford's lead the top 10. First Chevy's going to be Kenny Reel here in seventh. He's been leading the way as the Charger, trying to get himself back up front. Right now, I talked about it earlier. Last lap from Brian Huntley Jr. was slower than John Ross, and that is where timing is everything. But he is able to carry the outside. Right now, John Ross going around Jeff Barefoot has some lap traffic in tow with him. So Brian Huntley Jr. is going to be able to catch up a couple of tenths here, but it gets under the wall. That's the dangerous portion about running to the wall. The moment that you get into the wall is the moment that you can have issues, and that's exactly what happened. But right now, Ross did the same thing. Kenny Reel back to pit road. 71 of 140. Not a bad idea to come in now and then maybe come in here in about 35 laps. That'll split the seal here. It's just going to be fun. Keep digging, Delgado, says Bully Dog Coffee. Thank you very much. I appreciate you out there. Thank you for the subscription out there as well. I think you guys did. 2 seconds the difference right now. John Ross dealing with a little bit of lap traffic behind him. That's the 45 of Aaron Bradford. Giving him 44. It's naturally a lap down. Actually pulling the air off of John Ross here and slowing him down. That's going to help Brian Huntley Jr. Got a little bit of lap traffic in front of him as well. So John Ross holding on to it. Lamar, they're not on, brother. Got to do that in my day streams. Don't do it. Don't redeem those yet. Thank you, sir. Thanks, my man. You redeemed Chewy. McNeil here in 12th. Moving back in the positive direction here. Good to see the Tom car. Is Tom now chasing? He's not. Chad is still chasing. The Jerry car is still chasing the Tom car. I'm so glad that I refreshed all of that so that way I could get his paint to show up correctly. Because that spec map, whatever was going on with that spec map, well, they didn't like me. They didn't like the car either. That was a great car. How about John Ross coming to pit road? Brian Huntley Jr. will take over the lead as Steve Ritter will go to second. Delgado to third. Brandon Guerin will go to fourth. Johnny Barker in fifth. A great job by John Ross. He leapfrogged his way out, 75 of 140. This will be where if it runs green, this is where it's going to matter. Pit strategy will be everything. They'll have to come to pit road at least one more time. Brian Huntley Jr. has about a 3.4 second lead over Steve Ritter. Kristen Delgado closes in the distance as well. And the thing about it is that once John Ross comes off pit road, he may be a lap down here. And if this thing stays green, it'll be huge. It'll be a huge momentum changer. As the back straightaway shows a lap. That's it. John Ross coming off pit road. will be one of the favorites to be able to make that pass. The longer he runs, the better off he's going to be. And we'll see kind of how this one's going to play out. That's going to be huge momentum for him. Christian Delgado inside the top 3 once again. And another driver trying to track it. He came in on 45, one of the longest running cars out there. And I think that Christian will be able to if Christian can make and maintain what he's doing, maybe short-put himself a little bit, he'll be able to and catch one of these drivers off guard. Like Frank here is coming to pit road now. They know that they're going to have to run this out and run what they can, because the longer that they do, the more that they're going to be the right strategy is going to win this race. Do you run as long as you can? Do you run to lap 90 like Brian Huntley Jr. will try to do? Maybe he comes in on here in a couple of laps, because if you look at John Ross, who's coming out of turn 2 here, I mean, if I look at him to Brian Huntley Jr., you're going to see him make that pass pretty quickly. Right now he's going around Johnny Barker. And look at the head of steam the 44 has. Brian Huntley Jr. is right here into turn 1. And John Ross, even right now, if he can he's saving tires and driving around drivers right now. He's gonna put some time on these drivers. The last thing you want to do is have any issues. So Brandon Guerin right here in front of John Ross. Brandon running in 4th. Stuck right there. That's pretty much where he's been stuck. Christian Delgado here in that 3 spot, 3.5 back, trying to catch up to Brian Huntley Jr. Does have the tires to do it. Brandon Guerin coming to pit road. Johnny Barker in as well. Pit lane starting to fill up with a few drivers inside the top 10. We'll see what Brian Huntley Jr. does as we're going to be 60 laps to go. And it's a good split to go, 30 and 30, maybe 35 and 35. John Ross thinking about what his pit strategy is going to be. He's going to be able to catch a few drivers here. The biggest factor here is that he's been out here for 5 or 6 more laps, and that's going to play dividend here. 81 of 140 as the drivers go to work. You see a pit lane getting busy for all of them. 8 drivers on the lead lap. Aaron Bradford of the 45 trying to work on his lap times here. He came in on 44. Huntley Jr., another driver that came in on 44, so Delgado will take the short pit. He's going to get out there and run some more. And Brian Huntley Jr. still working it here. Somebody short pit take 2 tires as well. That's another thought. What can happen here at Atlanta? We've been green to green this entire time. This has been one of the best races they've had all season long so far. As we see right now, fuel strategy is going to be key. And that's the kind of racing I like. How about a 30.93 for John Ross, his fastest lap this last time by. Steve Ritter coming to pit road. Brian Huntley Jr. up on the high side. John Ross just unlapped himself, 82, 140. And we'll throw it back up on the ticker. All right, folks, they're going to do their thing. We're going to do our thing. Brian Huntley Jr. out front. Nate Cotillo is going to be in second. Got about a 10.5 second difference here between he and Brian Huntley Jr. Eli Raposa is going to be in third. 19 seconds. It's a lot of time. Jacob Carter just ran the fastest lap of the race at 30.81. And he's in 11th. A lot of drivers moving. Biggest move of the race is going to be Eli Raposa. Hydrate break time. Make sure that you do so yourself. Whatever you're drinking, here's to you. goodness. There's a 31 to the inside here. Bradford, Kristen Delgado trying to split the seams here. John Ross back out front as we see Brian Huntley Jr. did go ahead and come to pit road. Will find himself just outside of the lead lap. I think John Ross was able to put himself around. So we'll see Brian Huntley Jr. coming on 88. John Ross on 74. John Ross right now to Kenny Reel has a 6.5 second lead. Steve Ritter's going to be in third here. These drivers came on 74, 70, 81, 75. Rob Lowell, who's your pole sitter, is came on 73. Short pitch strategy could work as long as you can get 40 laps or under, I think under 40 laps to the run here. So we'll see what happens for these drivers. Some of the drivers are taking short pitch strategies and doing what they do. John Ross, though, doing a great job. His last lap, 31.39, clean air for him now. Leroy Koblenz just ran his fastest lap of the race. He ran a 31.14 and doing a banger of a job as well. I do want to take a look at one more time at the best times of the race. We'll take a look here as the drivers go to work. Left side of your screen, 20 drivers being listed here. We have 25 in the race. Nick Larson actually out there running. Had a late start there. 30.87. Didn't go ahead and run his fastest lap of the race. Let's get some things taken care of here. I want to make sure that we can see all of the drivers and all of the information on the tower, because that's important. We want to make sure that the drivers are rotating forward like it's supposed to be, and that the race information is being shown like it's supposed to as well. So, because, you know, I'm changing things up, trying to make it look good, trying to make it all flashy and cool, and, you know, you got to make sure that you do it the right way. All right, we're going to do that. Here's the 43 of Leroy Koblenz. We're going to ride around with him for a moment while we just kind of have fun with it. That's kind of the way it goes, right? There we are. Hey! See, I know what I'm doing sometimes. Anyway, that's what it is. Here's your fastest lap of the race, ran by Jacob Carter. You see it? That pink line right there. Jacob Carter at 30.807, fastest lap of the race. Fast doesn't always mean that you're going to win. That just means that you're out there doing what you got to do, and he's doing a heck of a job at it. So right now we have roughly about 19 drivers on the lead lap. First driver off the lead lap is going to be Dalton Powell. He would be your lucky dog in this kind of scenario. I'm sorry, I take that back. Sorry, Christopher. 13 drivers on the lead lap. Something just happened with iRacing. You just updated something right there, so that's really cool. This driver right here trying to stay off. I think John did pass him, so yeah, he would be. Christopher would be your lucky dog here. He came in on 79. John Rawson on 74. Nate Curtilla came in on 84. He's going to be on the lead lap here, trying to push a little bit more. Brian Huntley Jr. makes his way up to ninth. Frank's still up 10. He's still going to be your biggest mover of the race. There's KJ Coughlin up 6. Frank's been doing a great job of steadily moving forward. And he's got a big yeehaw going on right there as well. .98 of 140. Cawthon, McNeil, 11th and 12th. Cotilla has 26 seconds to try to make up. But this is one of the big things that you're going to see out of any one of these drivers is where do they come to pit road? Where do they make the pits? Right now, Brian Huntley Jr. with Dalton Powell to the bottom. Side here. Dalton does have the run on the straightaway, and I tell you what, Brian Huntley Jr. driving, he's got, I don't know. You want to hold on. Jeff Barefoot was the driver that was that he just passed right there. Barefoot still would have. I think I like Jeff's paint scheme the best. A little Flintstone action. I like the Tom and Jerry aspect of Chad and Logan. But if I had to go with nostalgia purposes, you know, I'm going to go with the Flintstones. I like Jeff Barefoot. He's also, by the way, part of the Riptide Radio program, so go check that out. Again, free download. They sponsor this series. Go check them out. Riptide Radio on your Google search bar. All of the sponsors here for this series, except for Riptide. Riptide is a download, so you can go to any search browser and get it on your phone, on your computer. Look them up, Riptide Radio. It's going to be the North Myrtle Beach area. You're going to see that in your search browser. Free internet radio is awesome. I love it. But everything else there should be links in the description for the majority of all of the other ones. If they are not, we'll make sure to update them. I've been trying to give tasks and delegate. I've been doing a lot. So I've been trying to delegate as much as I can. And right now, John Ross, 101 of 140. Smooth sailing for the time being. Last lap, 31.96. Steve Ritter ran about 0.3 of a second faster at 102 of 140. And when any one of these, there's Kenny Reel, he's in third as well. Any one of these drivers decide they're coming to pit road earlier than everybody else, that's going to be the pace that you're going to have to make up. Right now, Brian Huntley Jr. is 14.8 off. Now, he is running incredibly fast laps, but the thing is this is going to come down to pit strategy if it stays green. We've seen in the last few weeks where cautions have been plentiful. The drivers have been getting used to each other, and I tell you what, they're getting out here and they're running a 1.5 mile circuit, and they're making this one look much better by a clean race. It's been fun. Everybody looks like they're having a good time as AJ comes to pit road. 25 in on pit road this time by John Ross goes around, and we'll see who's gonna have this pace. This is important here. Pit road strategy and getting in and out of pit road is going to be very important. Can anybody? And right now, Dalton Powell giving on 64. He's saving here. John Ross out front. Delgado still trying to work his way back to the top three. He is right there behind Kenny Reel. He gave it on lap 80. Delgado to the inside for third. Slide up just a little bit. We'll back up the corner, drop down into the corner. Corner exit will go to the 24 on the high side as they can keep it out of the wall. 31 will run the high side. 24 right there. They'll be side by side. This is the race for third as Delgado. Outside the race for second, Steve Ritter comes to pit road. The race for second, Kenny Reel goes back to third, so Delgado takes over that place. We'll see what happens now as Brandon still holds on to fourth. If you like that paint, well, BG Graphics is going to be the guy to do it for you. He is Brandon Guerin. He will enjoy the limelight here. We'd love to see what happens there. Brian Huntley Jr. to the outside as he goes to try to take over now. 12 seconds of difference here between Brian Huntley Jr., who just he's running about 0.6 of a second faster. Now, he did stay out 14 extra laps here. But John Ross at some point will come to pit road, and those lap times will start to tick away. And this will be where Brian Huntley Jr. has to make a decision. Does he come in and try to make up the time on pit road with John Ross, or does he get in and out of pit road and just try to run as long as he can? Right now, 8 drivers on the lead lap. Pindell is going to be the last driver on the lead lap. He is he's struggling a little bit here, but he's doing all right. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. John Ross. There's a few drivers go to the inside. That's Chris Campbell in the 68. Ross on the high side. Delgado there as well. We have yet to see a Ford get a win here in the series, dominated by Fords. And a lot of the Fords are now in the back of the pack. We have in our top 10, we have 4 Fords, 4 Toyotas, and 3 Chevys. All right, 2 Chevys. I can math correctly. So 4 Toyotas, 4 Fords, and 2 Chevys. Frank Zingen's going to be your biggest move of the race at 15 right now.
If I were him, I'd bundle my home and auto and pick up the real victory. Savings.
Are you talking about bowling?
No, bundling, Jan. Bundling.
Bundle and save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
108 of 140. 32 laps to go this next time by John Ross making his bed. He's coming to pit road as Christian Delgado will take over the lead. And Delgado to Brian Huntley Jr. Huntley Jr. 0.6 of a second difference. So Delgado, credit him for a lap led here. Very important. Steve Ritter, fastest lap of the race, 30.80. Robert's giving Nate some love. Mr. Cotilla having some fun. He's making his bed as well. He's coming to pit road along with we're seeing the 44 dig out. Delgado holds on quarter second. Came in on lap 80. 8 lap fresher tires for Brian Huntley Jr. This is only a battle of attrition right now, as the 31 will have to try to hold on to what he has. Delgado to Brian Huntley Jr. Huntley Jr. rolling the outside. Will have a runoff corner exit. Atlanta doing a great job. 31 rolls the corner. I would not be surprised to see anybody not come to pit road this time by. Yep, 19 locks it up. 31 has the pace, locks up the tires. Both the drivers do. So we'll see if they, hopefully they didn't have a pit road speeding penalty. Hold on. 31 gets down pit road. And that's a good thing. I know that you can make up. Here's what happened to Christian Delgado here. This was good. So Christian knew he was coming to pit road, right? The 19 of Brian Huntley Jr. tried to do the same thing, and Delgado gets to pit road, locks up the tires, and can't get to the outside. He's there to the inside, has that pace on the 19. Hopefully he didn't get a penalty. That's the thing here. I don't know. I didn't see his pace. But Huntley Jr. is going to be able to make that work. Brandon Guerin coming to pit road. Steve Ritter is going to be the guy as we go 28 laps to go this time by. Ritter coming around, coming to 104. John Ross on a 108. Brian Huntley Jr. coming to 110. John Ross with a 10-second lead. Ross with the fastest lap of the race, a 30.65 this last time by. Ross behind Steve Ritter. Wall tap for John Ross. You do not want to have those kinds of mistakes. There's Kitty Reel back here as well. McNeil to pit road. Kenny Reel down to the bottom side, or to the high side. Johnny Barker showing up late again here. We'll love to see these battles late in the run. This is a good little race line they got going on. Christian Delgado, 30.84. Trying to play catch up to Brian Huntley Jr. Has the long run race pace. Needs to be able to utilize the next 27 laps to do so. John Ross around Steve Ritter here. Brian Huntley Jr. back to 5th. Johnny Barker came at a 103, and he and Kenny Reel are going side by side. The more they battle, the more that Brian Huntley Jr. will be able to play catch up here. Has it a 5.8 second difference here as Brian Huntley Jr. has had great pace all race long. He and John Ross flopping the lead quite a few times, several different lead changes tonight. As they'll go 26 laps to go here. It'll be 25 this time by Ross, a 30.52. Getting faster. Trying to pull away. Has a little bit of draft in front of him. Ross again trying to be that first forward. As right now the 24th, Kenny Reel has Johnny Barker on his back bumper. Barker trying to dig a little bit more out of this one. About 1,000 separated the iRating for these drivers. John Ross, Ritter, Real, Barker, Huntley Jr. is going to be Christian Delgado. Again, 30.69 for Delgado, 0.2 of a second faster as they roll the corner. 31 trying to get to the bottom side of the 19. Battle for fifth. It ranges on as Delgado gets into the mix. Now they're really stepping on it. Some drivers were trying to conserve tires. Some drivers were trying to hold on to it. And right now, 31 to the bottom side, trying to give a little bit more out of the car. 25 laps to go here, brought to you by DTL or, you know, all these fine folks out here having fun. I'm about it. 31 to the bottom side. It's going to drift up the race line. Needs to side draft the 19 if he's going to be able to do anything with it. 19, 31 side by side. The outside lane's prevailing for the 19 because he's able to just run that corner. If the 31 had anything here, he's going to be able to try to slide draft this one, but I don't think it. I don't think. Oh, holy cow. Not bad. Side by side on the back straightaway. Oh, they beat and bang. Caution will come out for the first time as on corner exit, the 19 and the 31 of Delgado get into it. First caution of the race happens with 23 laps to go here. And here is corner exit. Comes out. Oh, 19 down. 30. That's a racing. That's a big racing deal. That was on both of them. They were running each other hard. 31 tried to clear out of the corner. 19 ran high, egg shaped. That's what you see here as well. 31 was trying to run out to get that second lane. He's got to exit from the bottom. 19 runs down lower on corner exit. He tries to take the lane away from the 31. Man, oh man. And a great job holding the brakes here for Christian Delgado.
Take one Defender. Add a large helping of sand. Mix in some rocks. Freeze to -40 for several days. Then soak in 35 inches of water. Bake at 122 Fahrenheit. Dress with 661 pounds of toppings. Finally, serve on a plateau of your choosing.
Listen. What's that sound? Silence. And the sound of you not scooping. Say hello to Leo's Loo 2, the Loo your Leo will love, as much as you love your Leo. With an app to track usage and weight, and Alexa and Google voice controls. Say so long to scooping, so long to sense, with Leo's Loo 2 from Casa Leo.
Brian trying to go for back-to-back wins. We'll come to pit road here. We'll have 22 laps to do so. Not impossible. That fast repair will come in handy here. Christian Delgado will come around. He'll be, man, oh man. Kenny Real coming in out of pit road. Jacob Carter should be your, Christopher should be your lucky dog. I think we have a lap drive first on the lead lap here. We shall see. We shall see. John Ross. Yeah, sorry, Chris Campbell. So Josh Small actually would be your lucky dog here. Should have been your lucky dog. Question mark. There's your top five at the top of your screen. Ross, Ritter, Real, Barker, Garand. That'll be your top five. Brian Huntley Jr. will be on the lead lap and will have fast repair on the books. As far as tires go, I don't think did he have tires? He got a fast repair. That's a big deal. Came to 118. Then took that fast repair. But Delgado, this is all going to be about limitations here. Did anybody come in and take tires? That's your bigger question. Hold on to the night. All right, let's go take a look. They didn't. I thought they had, three. They only had 3 sets of tires, so nobody has an extra set of tires. Nobody saved a set of tires. They literally had 1 set per pit stop here, and it ran green enough for that to happen. So this is all about skill now. These tires are going to be cooled down. The track is starting to cool down. Oh, that's getting interesting now. There is no full send mode here. Unless you're a driver that came in late in the run, like Brandon Guerin, who came in at 111, 110 for Frank Zingen. These guys have a couple of lap fresher tires. Christian Delgado, another driver, I mean, he just kind of barked the tires there a little bit, so I don't know that that's going to be, I mean, it's going to play a factor. Brian Huntley Jr., same concept, fast repair, but I don't think that resets the tire state. We'll see what happens here. These drivers, interesting here. It is very interesting. We'll be 20 laps to go here. DTL Customs Designs and Graphics. You go check them out. Find them on Facebook. Facebook.com/@DTL Customs. Yeah. Leaf Guard, best way to get. They say Leaf Guard is really good. Over here in Missouri, our homeowners insurance actually doesn't allow us to have that stuff on there. But I wish they would, because I've heard good things about Leaf Guard. You know, I've heard good things about it. I've not tried it myself, so I've heard good things about it. Helps protect your gutters and to make sure that you don't have to get up there and clean them all the time. I do. I have to do it every year. It's crazy. Pace car should dive in. And for the next 20 laps to make it 19 at the line, it's a full send mode. Green flag, John Roscoe's. Johnny Barker in second. Frank Zing is going to be on the bottom side. Steve Ritter, I don't know if he didn't have the restart there that he needed to. I'm not quite sure. Frank rolling, though. Frank's got momentum. Outside lane, cooking up. Drivers trying to push the boundaries of the cars. Logan McNeil back on the lead lap here in that 12. Trying to push forward. Eli Raposo trying to get that next lucky dog spot. Would love to see it. But we're 18 to go. John Ross with a 6/10 of a second lead. Frank in second now as Steve Ritter goes to third. Johnny Barker trying to hold on. Chevy starting to show up late. Oh, baby. Don't wreck. Christian Delgado had an issue there. Brian Huntley Jr. trying to shove his way forward right now. Being very aggressive on the race line. Pendel's going to be in that 94. Delgado to the back bumper. Brian Huntley Jr. These drivers should have tire issues here. And you see the 19 trying to roll the outside, little dirty air. Holding on to what he has here. Power is such. There's your drivers where they're at. 13 drivers on the lead lap. McNeil 5.7 back. Campbell there as well. Johnny Barker dropping. Got some right front damage. Drivers just trying to hold on to their cars right now. Brian Huntley Jr. trying to roll to the outside. Not sure what happened to Johnny Barker there, but man, he's got heavy right front on that car. Hopefully he can hold on to it and not break that right front toe link. Fixture to the inside, Rob Lowe. Sorry, Chad McNeil. So Rob Lowe here, the 21. John Ross with 15 laps to go as Frank Zingen in tow. Frank has been anything but just like Brian Huntley Jr. just ran his fastest lap of the race at 30.58 with barked tires after a fast repair. So if you think he wasn't trying to save, then, well, there you go. 30.58, Kenny Reel in tow. We'll see what Brian Huntley Jr. does here. He rolls the outside. This is going to be all about protecting your line. And right now, the tire difference between the two drivers is right now the 19 gets into the wall as well. He's trying to be as aggressive as he can here. As Brandon Guerin goes around to the outside of the 62 here. Brandon just ran his fastest lap of the race at 30.69. John Ross out front. Brian Huntley Jr. making no friends here on the back bumper of the 16. Almost turns him. Man, oh man. 16 to the 19 rolling. 12 laps to go. John Ross out front. Wow. So Christian Delgado in the same set of circumstances here doesn't have is not having the tire issues, or is having the tire issues that Brian Huntley Jr. should be having as well. And it just goes to show sometimes the fast repair is, I don't know if it fixes the tires or what it does, but holy cow. 30.84 last time by, about a tenth faster than the top three, faster than everybody on the racetrack right now. Did not have an extra set of tires, came in about the same time as Brandon Guerin. Actually, Brandon came in a lap later. As right now, Frank back to the outside. 10 laps to go as John Ross tries to hold on to it. Brian Huntley Jr. trying to play catch up here. It's going to see two drivers in front of him. .44. Looking behind. Brian Huntley Jr. here again. Not having the expose that you would see. Trying to side draft the fours. Going to be up near the wall, into the wall. And it didn't even affect him. Didn't even slow him down. That was a hard right contact. Christopher having an issue here as well. Maybe. And it was Brandon Guerin up the race line. 19 to the bottom side now. The battle for third is as such. Kenny Reel back in tow. Smack that wall hard, man. 4 back to the outside. 19 trying to close in the distance. 4 leads the 19. John Ross out front, 7 laps to go. Eli and Christopher had an issue here. Here's, oh, baby, just a little, oh. And a little na-na-na. And, oh, man. 7 to go, 7 laps to go. They are holding on. Toontown 140. It's been a good race. Only 1 caution with 6 laps to go. It's been a good time. This one's been their best race so far, and right now the aggression is still turned up to 100. Brian Huntley Jr. having to work on the car. Little free on the nose. Kenny Reel back in tow. Frank holds on to second, 1.5 back. Brandon Guerin in third. Brian Huntley Jr. the second back right now. These drivers try to take the air away from the 19. If they can run his line, they keep it away. But the issue is that when they run his line, he tries to bump draft you out of the way, and that's just hard racing. These guys, you don't do it to the drivers. They don't see it very often. And right here, this is not the track to do it. This is not the car to try to bump draft somebody on Old Atlanta. That's dangerous. I mean, you watched Christian Delgado have to deal with it earlier. And it's unfortunate. Nate Cotillo is going to be up 7 here. Biggest mover of the race is Frankie is in second. Brandon Garrett here in third. Try to hold on. BG Graphics giving a whole lot of action. And right now, as hard as you can run, I think now the right front starting to play a factor. Kenny Reel in tow. Try to get a little bit more out of the car. This is the long run that he likes to see. A top 3 night is always good for him. Right now, Steve Ritter on the bottom side. John Ross out front, 1.5 second lead, 3 laps to go. And can you hold your breath for a 90 seconds? 94 seconds to be exact. That's to be approximate, not exact, to be approximate. That's pretty much what John Ross is going to have to do here. This last lap at 31.7. And it's going to be, it's there. How about it? Can Brian Huntley Jr. get a top 3 tonight? He won last week at Bristol. And here at the end of this one, he was able to capitalize and make up for what happened with he and Christian Delgado earlier. And but did he do it too soon? And did he run too hard? Because that right front, he smacked that right front. And I am surprised that car didn't end up with those same issues. And right now, you see the 24 to the 19. Here for the 5 spot, 24 of Kenny Reel is your points leader coming into today's race. You see that check up there, 16 back to the bottom side, 3 wide on corner exit, 2 laps to go. 16, 24, 19 up near the wall. Hopefully he's good. Yeah, he's good. No wall tap there. Final lap here. John Ross out front. White flag waves. Final lap. This one's been killer, man. Ross, Frank in second. Brandon Garrett in third. Kenny Reel makes up 4th. Steve Ritter in 5th. Brian Huntley Jr. all over the back bumper of the 16. Can he shove it down to the bottom side? Can he get him around? John Ross gets the victory here today, here in the 802 Cup Series. Zingens is going to be in second, Guerin third, Reel 4th, Ritter 5th, and Huntley 6th. Cotilla, Austin Delgado, Campbell, that'll be your top 10. Best race so far this season. And what a great time it was. These drivers knocking it out of the park. Only 1 caution, making this one just a huge run. Fantastic race today for these drivers. Campbell coming around as well. Do like it. John Ross will be able to celebrate here in style as the drivers still finish up the race. Some drivers did not finish it out, so but there it is. He does so. As John Ross gets the victory here today. 3rd different winner on the series. As we'll see a big old burn it down moment with your race results right here. Riptide Radio Cup Series here, week 5 at Atlanta. John Ross, Frank Zinga to the 62. Brandon Garrett is going to be your top 3. Kenny Reel, Steve Ritter is going to be your top 5. Brian Huntley Jr. and Nate Cotilla. Costin Delgado, Campbell, your top 10. Pendle is going to be your 11th place finisher. All the way down to Leroy Koblenz is going to be second driver off the lead lap. That's Jacob Carter, first driver off the lead lap. Johnny Barker pushing as hard as he can for the Wolfpack Racing team. First driver off 2 laps going to be Chad McNeil, and I think after that, Barefoot's there. 3 laps down, Wiley. Jeff Barefoot still 2 laps down, sorry. Wiley 3 laps down. Nick Larson getting out there. Way to go, Nick, for getting out there and running some laps. He had, I don't know if he had issues in the very beginning, but he really did put himself in a good situation. So we'll see what he does next week. We'd love to see it. How about we bring up your race winner here, who did a phenomenal job having a right pit strategy here. I still think you had the car to beat. John Ross, congratulations, man. That was fun to watch. You guys finally won strings together where we get to see the long run, where you guys were able to push some things, and you guys you delivered today. What a great race today was.
I thought it was, when I haven't ran a whole lot here at this configuration, and when we came into practice, the car was snappy loose. It was really loose. Even when the green flag come out, that first run, car was really loose, and then all of a sudden, just with the changes that iRacing's made, it was crazy because the track started to gain more and more grip. So you really had to change the way that you drove, because if you didn't push the car a little bit harder on the second stint and the third stint, and even at the end, you were not going to have a chance. And I think really at the end, I was letting off a little on the entry to the turns, but from three-quarter out, you could just stand on it and go. So I mean, the track really held the cars too well.
That was something that I've been talking about over the last basically week and a half with iRacing's new update that brought in the dynamic track, the actual dynamic track. When you heard about it before and you used to have a little chick in your options, it'd be like, oh, render dynamic track data. Well, now it actually renders dynamic track data. There's actually dynamic grooves. The track heats up in sections and closes down. And we were watching drivers run the wall where the cooler temperatures were, but it was crazy to see how many people were able to run the wall at Old Atlanta, where the bumps are more difficult up there with all the debris, all the marbles. I was shocked to see, where that was able to run. But your pit strategy was right on where I thought it should be, to be able to be the guy that leapfrogs people. Because Brian, of course, was very fast early with the way he was running the outside, but your pit strategy was almost flawless.
Yeah, and I think so. We went a little long on really the first two stints, and longer on the first stint than we did on the second, because I kept backing it up a little bit. Because when I come back out after that first round of stops, and I had such a large lead, by the end of that, I think Brian had caught me to about 2.3, 2.4 seconds. So I knew I wanted to jump him just a little bit more, because the longer he stayed out, and he did that second run, he stayed out much longer than I even thought that he would, and it just created such a gap. Before that caution come out, I think we had a good race with Steve there, and I knew that was going to be for the lead. But I thought we did really good with our strategy tonight.
It was fantastic. Tonight was the race that I've been looking for, and y'all made me proud, and you put on a hell of a show. Congratulations, man. You did Toontown proud, man. Tell people about your car.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and this is kind of an homage to to the '80s and to my team, Wildman Racing, and I've got to give a big shout out to those guys, and Christian and Leroy and Roman. They're all in our chat, as you know, when we're racing. So they kind of were able to bounce ideas off each other. So really appreciate that. 802 Riptide Radio. You as well for doing this. I know you do a fantastic job, and it's really been a joy to go back and watch these races and listen to you. So we certainly appreciate that. And Toontown, it was pretty cool to see all those different schemes. I was a little worried because I couldn't tell really who was who, since I ran with these guys for 3 races, and then here they had different schemes, but it was fantastic. It was a great race.
The Toontown's my favorite, probably other than the patriotic, depending on which patriotic paints people call it.
Yeah.
We do have the throwbacks. We have the patriotic paint schemes, but Toontown's kind of like my favorite. It's like my homage. You talk about going back to the 80s, of course. I am sitting here looking at the 60s, 70s with the Flintstones, and I'm like, that's my favorite paint scheme.
Right.
So I'm no spring chicken, but I'm not somebody that will not get out here and enjoy some good old fashioned paint schemes. So you get a little homage to the Saved by the Bell days. That's right. That's what it is. I like it.
What it is? Trapper Keepers and Saved by the Bell.
You ain't lying. There it is. Oh, high school was so much fun. John, congratulations on the victory lane here. I look forward to seeing what you guys do. I need to make sure that I've got the dates correct, because I want to make sure that we're if we are racing next week or if we're not racing next week. I want to make sure.
I think we skip a week and then we're in Sonoma.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Sonoma will be fun.
It will be fun.
I like Sonoma in the next gen car. I think Sonoma fits this car. I think all the road courses that NASCAR has fits the next gen car. It doesn't fit anything else. Fits the next gen car just fine. But it was a ton of fun, man. John, much love, man. I appreciate you. We'll see you. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas to you as well.
It's John Ross. He's your victor here today. Knocked it out of the park. Let's talk to this guy. I've been waiting for you to have a great day.